In this video, we're going to show how the operator can interact with both the software, which is the CAD CAM system, and the machine simultaneously. And this is something that's really unique to our system. Other machines, they read in G codes and they kind of run them as a blind machine that doesn't really know what it's cutting, so it doesn't know anything about the CAD CAM, which really can limit you after you kind of see how the 4C software works. So, clearly what we're doing here in this time-lapse video is we are programming and running the machine and kind of going back and forth. So we started off here without any predefined toolpaths. We just put the part on the machine, picked up zeros, and imported the the CAD model, and then we made the CAM directly on the machine. So this lets us kind of iterate towards a final design in a final way that we want to cut the particular part out. So we're not going to go into all those details of how we do that because there's a lot of them. We're basically 100% interacting between the machine and the software and all of that. What I'm going to show here is how you inspect the part afterwards. We're going to basically tell the machine to move to a bolt hole that we had previously cut. So the first operation is we drill a few of the holes, and then we're going to go through and do all this heavy cutting. And after we do the heavy cutting, we want to go back to that location and make sure nothing has moved on us. Okay? Because if it's moved on us, then that's bad. Everything that we do after is not going to be done properly. So what we can basically do is just click on the bolt hole in the CAD model and tell the machine to move there, which is something you cannot do with G codes, or at least not as easily. You have to go back to your CAD CAM and kind of get the XY location, and then come back out and move the machine to the XY position. So it's much faster to do it when you have the CAD CAM integrated with the machine. So yeah, we're going to show that right now. Okay, so as I was saying, we pre-drilled all of these holes as a first operation. Then we've gone through and cut all this outside stuff, which is some pretty heavy machining. And now we're going to want to tell the machine to just move to this location right here, and then this location, or actually we can pick any of the locations, but these two would be good. And then we're going to check them. So we're going to come over here and say Show Measure Tool. And then our measurement tool, we can just click on any location. This is pretty standard, pretty common CAD CAM stuff here. This just shows me that I've clicked on an arc and it gives me the center location. But what is missing in the other systems is I can come over here to this interactive screen in the bottom right, and we get two more options here. One that says Move to the XY center. Another one that says Probe Arcs XY center. So I'll show here actually doing this on the machine. Unfortunately on this machine we don't have a probe installed, so we're going to have to do it with an indicator. It's really the same process though. You just click on Move to or Probe. If you hit Probe, the machine's going to go and just probe that location and tell you how far off the machine is from it. If you hit Move to XY location, it's going to ask you if you really want to move there. You say yes, and then we should be able to see that our tool is above it. Then if we move the Z down, we're right over top of it. So it's just kind of a quick way to move to that exact location. And if you're doing one or two locations, it's not that big of a deal to go back to your CAD CAM system. But if you're going to make a habit of inspecting your part as you manufacture it, this can be really useful. It's a big time saver. And really what time savings does with this sort of thing is it allows you to do these things quickly, which encourages you to do these things, right? So if it takes 10 minutes to do something like this, you may just skip this process, and then that may cause big problems down the line. If it takes 10 seconds to do it, you're going to go ahead and do it, and if there is a problem, you catch that problem early on, right? So the interactivity we feel is a very important aspect of all modern machine tools. Okay, so just like I explained in the software screen capture, we're going to go ahead and do this on the machine now. So I'm going to zoom in on the leftmost hole there and click on it and then say Move to XY location. Okay, and that just moves the XY over top of that hole. And so now I can just bring the Z down using the hand wheel and drop the indicator in the hole, and I can see that luckily our part has not moved. It's perfectly in the center. And so now I'm going to go over to the right hole and repeat that same operation. Just click on the circle or the arc there, and then on the interactive page, just tell the machine to move to that XY location. And it moves exactly to that center point. And again, just drop the Z down into the hole and check it. And likewise, nothing has moved over here.